Greetings, everyone. My name is Uttervale, and welcome to the Saturday morning stream. Usually I would begin Maker, but because I couldn't cover the Mega Man DOS Remake last week, I decided to tack it on to the start of it here. So welcome to the stream, Hyper, Jedok, Sunflora, Lepadio, and Jay Butters. It's probably just going to take about 30 minutes, and then we'll move on to Maker. Besides, sometimes it's nice to have a change. You know my feelings of playing too much Maker back to back to back. Enjoy your breakfast, Paul. Alright. A 1, a 2, and a 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do this. I don't know if it was crazy, but eventful as always. Yeah, I was gonna respond to it and say, yeah, I saw the video as well, and a video related to that in the document, and oof. Anyways, let's focus on some more fun activities. A different DOS remake, Jedok. Inspired by Capcom and Rosner Labs, powered by the Mega Mix engine. Dedicated to Steven Rosner. Greetings, everyone. My name is Uttervale, and welcome to my Let's Try of the demo of Mega Man DOS Remake, an NES-styled remake of the two Mega Man DOS games in development by Team It's Baz. So you may be asking, wait, Mega Man DOS Remake again? So you may be asking, wait, isn't there already a Mega Man DOS Remake out there? Yes, there is, but this is a new fan game, aiming to be more faithful to the OG titles, while polishing up many of their issues. Alright, let's redo this so you can actually see the title correct. Good. You may be asking, wait, isn't there already a Mega Man DOS remake out? Yes. This is an entirely new take on it. Boltman, Sonic Man, or Dynaman. Wait, I fumbled that a bit because the menu is a bit odd. Aiming to be more faithful than that fan game. I actually played that remake several years ago, and I can understand many deviations it had. I can understand why it had the deviations that it did. And I can totally understand why it had the deviations it did. Lies. Where's the fly? Where's the anti-fly spray when you need it? Where's the fly swatter when you need it? reminding us that we can jump down, reminding us that we can hop down these wires, reminding us that we can hop down these cables. And because this is based off of DOS, I can only jump and shoot. No sliding or charge shots available. And because this is based off of DOS, no sliding or charge shot, only jumping and shooting are available. No sliding or charge shots. Ow. Ow. I mean, this already looks a lot better than the OG DOS games. Reminding us that we can hop down these cables. Another element that pulls me, another element that magnetically attracts me. Flies. Where's a fly swatter when you need it? Already this looks a lot better than the OG DOS. Already this looks a lot better than the OG games. One thing about the previous DOS remake is that it reused pretty much all of its tile set from other game. One thing about the previous fan game is that it reused most of its tile set. Is that it reused all of its tile set from previous games. Is that it reused all of its tile set from previous games. Is that it reused all or most of its tile set from previous games. Is that it reused all or most of its tile set from previous games. Is that it reused all or most of its tile set from mainline Mega Man Classic games. Buster was not involved with the project then. Oh my gosh, the dog's there. I pinged you on Discord, Jaden. Welcome. Let's Rumble Volt. Ow. I'm so used to fighting Mega Mix Voltman with the slide enabled. I'm so used to battling Mega Mix Voltman with the slide. Okay, it's one hop. No, 3? Ow. Tree. Goodbye, I fumbled this battle. And we procured a floppy disk. You got... Force field. Oh yeah, they even kept the goofy sprite. I don't care about weakness order. That remake was goofy yet enjoyable. Darn it, I think it reset. What? Why did it not obtain Voltman's weapon? What? Why did it not obtain Voltman's weapon? What? Why did it not obtain Voltman's weapon? That seems like a bug. I keep getting hit by the screw flies. Or rather screw bees. Also, is it just me, or is the drop rate extra generous today? And is it just me, or is the drop rate extra generous today? Slowly trying to pinch me. So unlike the needle presses, except this time it's a screwdriver. I really prefer having access to sliding for these sorts of jumps. Also, no checkpoint. I really wish I had access to the checkpoint. I really wish I had access to sliding for these sorts of jumps. Also, no checkpoint. I'm gonna assume it's right after that screen. Without sliding, it makes dodging these enemies a lot trickier. Not complaining, Jaden. This commenting. Not complaining. Simply observing. There's a key difference between the two. Also, nice way of introducing this. Also, nice way of using the explosive craze to showcase the screwdriver. To showcase the drill. To showcase how the drill works. Also, additionally, nice way of introducing the crates by using. Also, nice way of introducing the drills by using the explosive crates. Would have preferred if there was a more Would have preferred if there was a warning in the lava just before it was going to erupt. Hello? Hello? Do I have to respawn it? Yes. Yeah. That is tight. Yeah, I disagree with this checkpoint placement. Let's try this again, shall we? If I can't dodge enemies as easily, then I'll happily take the increased drop rate. I already read through that. Please, let's focus on other things. Do the explosive crates hurt me if I blow them up? These hurt me. Alright, I'll say this. Let's focus on the game itself instead of outside drama, please. As justified as it is. There's a channel on the Discord server if you want to do it. So I have two problems with the demo so far. The first one is, for some reason, I didn't obtain Voltman's weapon, despite me clearly defeating them. And the other is a checkpoint placement of this stage. And the other is a checkpoint placement of Dynaman stage. Okay, are you gonna keep spawning? Yes. That is a bit of a scary. That is a bit scary for the first one of that kind. I'm guessing this is the checkpoint. That is a bit scary for this first combo. Having to respawn that spawner, having to respawn the drops, having to respawn the junk spawner, I'm okay with that. I've seen that before. I've seen that happen before. The other things, not so much. I see. They try dropping lava on me. Maybe introduce this not over lava. Perhaps introduce this stage element not next to instant death lava. That wasn't so hard. That sign in the back... Okay, I see what that sign in the background means. I understand what that sign in the background means right now. I understand what that sign in the background means now. I understand what that sign in the background means right now. I understand what that sign in the background means now. I just wish there was a more visual indicator in the lava itself. Oh no, doggy. Pretty weak doggy, actually. Flex Dyna. Dead. Dynaman is fire/explosive. Yeah, the previous fan game reused. The previous fan game mostly. The previous fan game The previous DOS Remake fan game. The previous DOS Remake fan game used, or rather reused, official tile. Used, or rather reused official tiles. Or rather reused official tile sets. I mean, this is a better engine. What happened is that it wasn't... What happened is that this fan game and what happens is this demo wasn't tested enough. Oh, you're actually part of the dev team, Buster? I thought you were just like a bug tester at best. Might be. I just beat Voltman stage and somehow didn't acquire his weapon. Even though it showed me the weapon get screen and even though it showed me the weapon get screen. More of a dynamic encounter compared to Volt. More of a dynamic encounter than Volt. Dynamic. You got nuclear detonator. Oh, okay. We'll pretend I defeated him. So last but not least, on the Sonic Man. Ooh, Bat Sprite. Froggy. Whoa! Just how I remember it. Or misremember. Mousebot. Or is it Ratbot? I don't know how I feel about this fish. Mercifully, I can remotely detonate it. An explosion? Oh, wait, let me get to a safer spot and I'll do it. Cool! It launches me up, too. I don't know how I feel about this I don't know how I feel about this demo right now. I don't know how I feel about this demo. I don't really have the highest opinion of the... I don't really have a high opinion of the OG DOS games. I just see them more of a curiosity. I just view them as more of a curiosity. I don't have a high opinion of the OG DOS games. Gotcha. Those are actually spikes. Whoops. I thought so. I don't have a high opinion of the DOS games. I view them more as curiosities more than anything else. And this doesn't really have the humor that Literal Forces demo had. So... the levels are okay, but they don't really stand out to me. The levels are okay, yet they simply don't stand out, but they don't stand out to me. The levels are okay, but they don't stand out to me. I don't want to do a direct comparison with the previous DOS remake and this one, as that's a finished title and this is still in development. No, it didn't. No, that's not what harmed me. I launched myself into the electricity. That's not the game's fault. That's me screwing up. Sniper Joe's with 3 HP. May want to make the spike stand out more. The checkpoint was right here, of course. At first I thought those were a different part of the tile set. At first I thought they were a different tile. Cool. The fire rate... Well, this is my last life. I wasn't sure how long it would take before they started firing. So I decided to play cautiously and ended up eating. A projectile. Could you add a visual indicator to these turrets the moment before they shoot? Could you add a visual indicator to these? Could you implement a visual indicator to these enemies the moment before they shoot? Could you implement a visual indicator to these enemies the moment before they shoot? Could you implement a visual indicator to these enemies the moment before they shoot? Are you here, doggy? You are. Splendid. Isn't this basically a Mega Mix? Sonic Man? Oh, and this is different, I think. That's it, E-Tank. GG. You got Sonic Wave. And this concludes my playthrough. And this concludes my playthrough of the demo. I hate to say it, but this felt mostly like a nut. I dislike saying this, but as it stands right now, this didn't really leave that much of an impression on me. Oh sure, it's more faithful to the DOS games. It's more faithful to the two DOS games compared to the previous DOS remake. Compared to the previous DOS remake I played on the channel. But at the same time, it doesn't do enough. But at the same time, it doesn't flesh out its elements enough. There are some neat things here. There are some neat things showcased here. Take for instance Dynaman, which has at least 4 separate gimmicks. Take for instance Dynaman stage, which has at least 4 different gimmicks, but it doesn't. But none of them really rises to the occasion. The introductions may be fine. The introductions may be fine. The introductions may be mostly fine, but the rest of the stage escalation and especially the climactic section need quite a bit of tuning up. And then of course there were the weird bugs I ran into. For instance, I clearly dispatched Voltman, and there was a time that a junk spawner, and there was a time a trash spawner didn't respawn, and then there was a time a trash spawner failed to spawn. And there's also a lot of little things such as missing animations or some general sprucing up required. I'm gonna refresh this so I can get back to the title screen. And many little things such as missing animations or bits of polishing up, or bits that require more polishing up. I'm with Jay Butters on this. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. But it's gonna require a massive overhaul. It's gonna require a massive update if it wants to become anything more meaningful than a simple remake. Again, it's gonna require a massive update. If it wants to become anything more meaningful than a simple remake. I don't mind the existence of this sort of remake. I don't mind the existence of this sort of remake, but as a designer, you have to push further. You have to push further for me to become invested in it. You can't just coast on the OG game being high quality. You can't just coast on the original game being memorable or high quality. Hmm. I talked with Stag in the Magmix server. I would like to check out the credits, but they're elsewhere. When I talked with Stag on the Megamix server, don't quote me on this or criticize them. I got the impression that they quite like the original Mega Man DOS games for what they are, which is fine and all, but I'm gonna phrase this in the nicest way possible. As it stands right now, this DOS Remake's demo is perfectly fine. Nothing's really bad. Not bad, but nothing special either. As Jay Butters put it, it needs a massive overhaul. It needs a massive overhaul if it wants to become anything more meaningful than being a simple remake. And for all the goofy and janky stuff that the previous DOS remake did, It at least tried to flesh itself out. It at least tried to differentiate itself. When you make a remake of a title, you do need to when you decide to go. Remember, this is trying to be a remake, not a remaster. If it was being a remaster, I'd be more forgiving of there being only a few. I'd be more forgiving of there being only a few changes from the OG. But for a remake, I expect more change. I expect more alterations. I expect more alterations when necessary. Which version of the DOS remake did you play? Of that DOS remake did you play, Buster? Did you play 1.x or 2.x? Ah, so the DOS 3 stuff got changed way more, but it wasn't showcased in his first demo, so, not the best first foot forward, eh? Now, do I believe this can be improved? Sure. But, now, do I believe this fan game can be improved? Absolutely. Yet, it's gonna take some time. Yet, it's gonna take some time and, honestly, some reimagining. I don't know. I apologize for my lack of interest and harshness. I really want this game. I want this game to succeed. At the same time, I feel it's kind of stuck. I feel like it's hewing too closely to the games it's remaking. Nonetheless, I wish the best of luck to you, developers. Alright? Yeah, everything can be improved. It's just encouragement. I will say this. DOS Remake 1.x sucked. 2.x fixed a lot of things, but going back, it's mediocre. I just liked it because how it tried to experiment with a few things. But I would never say it's good. The further stages, though, I would like to talk about that, and of course the secret character. I mean, you probably have a better shot remaking Tree because if you look at DOS remake trees, if you look at DOS trees maps, oh my goodness, you could theoretically make a Metroidvania out of those maps. Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting thing to compare because both of the DOS remakes are okay, but in different ways. But enough of that. Let's go to Maker. Yeah, Tree has a lot to do, but the level design is too big for its own sake. Oh, certainly, Buster. The best part of this demo is the engine itself. Outside of one occasion, it never failed. Also, I don't know if this is intentional, but the drop rate was pretty generous. Actually, you know, have you seen the maps of Tree DOS, the J-Butters? If not, let me just show you now. Because I do want to show it to people so uh, how crazy it gets. Okay, let's switch over to this. Alright, welcome to Mega Man Tree for DOS maps. Let's look at Bitman, for example. Not too bad, but depending on where you start, it can get a little bit confusing. Then we have stuff like Blade Man, which we start here and find out the paths to get through. This is one of the better ones because it's at least reasonable that, hey, you gotta go to the left. Then we got stuff like Oil Man, which is, you start around here on the right side, you have to get to the left, and, you have to climb up a building, go left again, or go down, straight down, and so. So, with the Bitman and Blade Man, you can argue that, okay, it's reasonable enough. Oil Man, though, no. Then we got stuff like Shark Man, which, yeah, this just seems like a Metroidvania map almost. Torchman, and Wave Man, which I would say I really like the cruise ship design. And honestly, I think I'd prefer, and this isn't so bad actually. Well, the only thing they could add is the boss fights, but really at this point, if they want to add the boss fights, just directly port them over from Megamix. So I a bit exaggerated with half the maps, but okay, half the maps of Mega Man 3, the robots are revolting. They're fine. A bit big, but roughly reasonable. But the other half are, yeah. Keep in mind these were this became a Mega Man Classic game, and the important thing about Mega Man Classic is that even if you should have a rough idea, a pretty strong idea of where you're supposed to go to next, they stretch it too far into, oh my goodness, this is even if you're playing this as a regular game, not even Mega Man, it'd be confusing trying to map the mental model of some of these things. It's doable, and it may be exaggerating a bit, but yes, we need to add the fruit flies. Oh, certainly, Sylv. I agree with that. I honestly would prefer as someone who took that idea and ran with it. As a matter of fact, hold that thought for later for Sunday. About the whole open world exploration Mega Man fan game. Thanks for showing up, Hyper. They did. It was pretty fun. I joke, I joke. I would actually like to see Mega Man as an Amiga platformer. One note. Alright, we're back. Now, welcome to the Mega Man portion of the stream. Here I'll be showcasing viewer-submitted levels and other levels I found online for the next probably 90 minutes or so. 90 minutes to 2 hours. Then I'll showcase art on the Discord server. Two cakes, 3 cakes. Thank you, Lapatio. Isn't that one by Blyka, or am I misremembering the Legends fan game in question? Anyways, let us begin with this stage. The Space Fortress by Nuclear Stomp, 26 plays and a score of 6. Also, to Jaden and a few others, tonight I'll be streaming the beginning of my playthrough of Neon Inferno. I made a promise to cover it or stream it. Unfortunately, it'll have to be in single player because Joe's too busy. Holidays, am I right? So I'll first do a single player playthrough. To jump into the conversation and respond to Buster, I'd prefer option B. There are enough games that play like Mega Man Classic, but not enough fan games that play like Mega Man Legends. Like, there's at least a dozen classic fan games you can play, but I can't really think of that many Legends ones, or any ones that play like Legends. Oh, that's cool. It's like what Jay Butter said earlier. Excuse me. Nice. It's like what Jay Butter said earlier. Oh, okay. There are plenty of classic fan games out there, but barely any for X or 0, and then we get the ZX, it's like 2, 3, by the developer. And then Legends is just, basically mini games or side stuff. Which, don't get me wrong, I appreciate that they exist, but, yeah. There is one almost complete Mega Man Classic, there is one almost complete Mega Man Battle Network game out there, which I will be trying out in the future. Whoops. Or mostly complete. The only thing left for that one is the post-game, but that's still in development. Chrono X isn't technically done. Genso Network is missing the post-game, but I think it's in a complete enough state where I can do it. But other than those two, I don't really see any completed Battle Network fan games. For good reason, because it's more... For good reason, because compared to Classic or even X, trying to make a full-on JRPG, it requires more work. Oh my goodness. Whoa. Okay, that's... No, I got locked out. Luckily, this is actually a bonus. Never mind mandatory. Meanwhile, this stage is more interesting than any of the previous stages in DOS Remake, sadly. Oh my... whoa. Okay. Yeah. I have them, I'll use them. Both from a design front and an intellectual front. But both in a design and play front. Oh, darn it. I didn't realize it does that. Thanks, Eddie. I see. Whoa. Galaxy Man has learned how to teleport again. I was warned in advance that this boss fight is glitchy. Let me out. Just pretend this is one of Galaxy Man's new attacks. There is... I'm gonna do this in order. There is one or two Mega Man ZX fan games I do want to play. Well, 3. But I'm gonna say that for the after I finish ZX and ZX Advent because of spoilers. And number 3 is more of a jokey one anyways. For X, yeah, I would agree that there are no completed Mega Man X games out there which I consider to be quote-unquote good. There are some neat titles out there, but, I'm indifferent is the best way of saying it. Hello, Professor Tornado. Rockman Adventure? I would like someone else to take a stab at that idea. That was unexpectedly one of the darkest Mega Man games taking place in the classic verse. Yeah, Corrupted, I believe it's eventually gonna come out, see like Skong. Innocent Impulse, I don't know when. From all the footage I've seen of X Corrupted, oh yeah, and of course X7 32-bit, that also look the Axel one, that looks cool too. With X Corrupted, from what I've seen, I like most of what I see in the footage. I'm just hoping that the final product is cohesive enough, and I think I'm gonna enjoy the game. The question isn't so much of whether I'm going to enjoy the game or not, because I believe I am. The question is whether it's actually going to be good. And that's still up in the air. Second up is Electric Park by Sunfor Azumarill. 28 plays and a score of 5. I don't think it's going to be forgotten after a week. If it is, that's going to be really embarrassing. If X Corrupted was finished, I would be playing it right now, Professor Tornado. Once X Corrupted gets released, I'm gonna drop almost everything and just stream it. But yeah, the journey matters more than the destination. If most of the game is if most of the game is fun, I'll treat it as a success. You're at the game's throat? That's Magmal Tree, J Butters, when I eventually get back into it next year. Like, okay, what I plan to do for X Corrupted is, the first playthrough will be done on B rank Hunter, or A rank Hunter, take your pick, and then if I like it enough, I'll come back and do it on the next tier up. It's been a while since the last seen this gimmick used. Like, when was this originally added? Feels like it's been months. Ow. Bounce. I'm in. Whoa, hit the targets. Let me out of this bounce house. No! How do I get out of here? I see. Outside of the pinball room. No, back up, back up. Okay, fine, I'm dead. I always value the journey more than the destination, but having a good destination is also important. But considering most of the experience is the journey itself, that's why I treat it as more important. Smoke alarm. Oh no. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Beat. Bye. Welp. J Butters and Sylv will disagree on something before I get back to Magmal Tree. Like, I still have to edit my playthrough of the stage me and Klex made. Not to mention, I need to reinvite Klex and Buster for the final stage in Tier 8 because it's a doozy. Plus, I technically know who won the contest, but I haven't actually seen their stage yet. Somehow people have kept it unspoilered for me. Shocking. That one. Do I have a time weapon? Nope. Oh, wait a sec, I get it now. I don't need a time weapon, I just need that enemy. Clever. Rated E for everyone. Celestial Woman is I like the boss fight in theory, but oh my goodness, that was kind of much for the game. Then again, I had the same thing for Arcane Man. Well, not really Arcane Man, but the super boss fight at the end of Arcane Man. That entire stage was a trip. Oh no, no! It's getting pulled. Let go, let go. I have a very strong opinion of Magmal Tree, but we'll get to that later. I'm aware. I'll talk about it when I get to that. Oh yeah! One of the many reasons Roll is awesome. Excuse me. Apologies, neighbors. Okay, sound's gone down a bit. That last section with the shock ball enemies is, I really wish at this point I really wish I was playing as a projectile-based character. I guess I have to bring out the big guns. Bounce ball. Let me finish this section and I'll respond. Alright, we're out. Um... That was weird. Ah yes, on a boss killer. Oh, you shouldn't have, game. I'm already well stocked enough. On the train ride to... Insert word here. Okay... I actually like the fight against Celestial Arcane, so that... despite its there are many issues, so I'll be looking forward to that. That is an inherent part of the game, unfortunately, J Butters. It'd be one thing if it's like episode 0 or the upcoming episode 02, where there's a lot more refinement and curation, and polishing up. But with how the inherent nature of 1, 2, and 3, it results in some issues like that. More so pronounced in 2 and 3 because of the sheer number of entries. The host content doesn't necessarily undeliver. Like, I like Usagi Woman and the Western stage. So, but the others, maybe. More special stages would have been nice. Drawing hands is difficult, actually. Oh my gosh, Buster, I can relate to that. Especially when you get to more complicated collisions. Or having to have multiple objects collide with each other simultaneously and not freak out. At first glance, you'd think that drawing stuff like hands or feet would be straightforward, but in reality, it's actually quite difficult. Oh, I don't care. Thank you for the unintentional comedy, Buster. I haven't seen it, but I can imagine how insane it looks. Hey, if it works for that game, it's good enough. It may not be the most optimized thing in the world, but if it works for what the game is trying to be and doesn't seem horrifically... or doesn't cause horrific bugs, go for it. I'd say it's fine. Or to put it another way, good enough for the sort of game it is. I see. Oh, it's super bouncy. If Roll had a gag reflex, she'd be vomiting all over the place by now. I watched Panon's video on that. Super Mario 64 in Super Mario 64's codebase in general is quite interesting for all the things it does. Like, there are a lot of things which I totally understand why they did. Many things which I say are ambivalent towards, and also many things which I say why. But I can also understand why. Anyways, let's rumble. Critical! Wow. Strike a pose. And if you look back at a lot of games of that time frame, or even from that time frame over to present day, you'll see a lot of coding practices which are, or development practices which are not advisable or not considered good practice, but work well enough for what the project is, usually. Let's see, can I command this? Nope. I really just want to use the kamikaze, but it seems like it's actually being worse for me. I'll just get one more to go and then I'll just do it the normal way. I just want to defeat them the funny way, but that's turning out to be... the RNG's not in my favor. Yes! No! Alright. Is there... I didn't think he would have extra lives. Alright. Is this it? No! I didn't see that. See, I was trying- I didn't even see- I got camouflage with the background. Okay. This is why I was trying to open up the E-tank, but the menu disappeared. I couldn't open the menu. Yeah, that's the funniest thing that happened on the stream. Not gonna lie. No checkpoints. Okay. Ah, 2 for the price of 1. I'm staying here. See, I jumped up there because I was worried there's gonna be something that pops up on the floor. Yeah, Cheetos don't prosper. Instead, they have to cheat harder. Oh, they still are. Oh, they still are in many ways, Jaden. At the same time, though, trying to perform all the best practices is not necessary especially in smaller teams. When you get to larger projects, absolutely, you want to perform those good best practices, so you don't end up shooting yourself in the foot in the future, or someone else's foot. I'm just happy nowadays the engines are much more well documented and systems are far less opaque to work with. I mean, less opaque to functionally work with. Imagine Imagine a final boss with 784 health. Or at least 700 health. I thought they were referring to minus infinity, Buster. Yeah, thank goodness. One of the other merciful things is that we've actually given more time to developers to actually polish and make their games, because the crunch time back then and the limited development schedules, especially with the more limited debugging tools, like, don't get me wrong, the consoles didn't the games may have been quote-unquote less resource intensive or quote-unquote less ambitious, triple air quotes there, but the fact that they had less developed tools and debugging, less developed tools and know how to work with them, and the very limited time frames, it was quite painful. As much as I finally look back at the SNES and following the retro era, as much as I fondly look back at the retro eras of gaming, I do not look fondly back at the development crunch times. Exactly, Jaden. Developers only really care if an interaction works, not necessarily once, but enough times. Or when I say enough times, I mean for the duration of how long the game is played, on a reasonable scale. So in this case, it would be like once or twice. The one thing I say that I don't look fondly back at the crunch times of retro game dev, but let's be real, crunch time still exists in the current day, very unfortunately. It's just we have different kinds of dev abuse on now. It's just evolved. Well, the droids came to replace us, except they got stuck. Except half of them got stuck outside, and the other half fell over. And the one that actually made it is spouting off random nonsense. Unfortunately, Buster, that's been a constant for several thousand years now. That's been a constant throughout human history. As for the stage, I said it before, but these two stages are better than the DOS Remake demo I played because they actually flesh out their mechanics and try to be a lot more novel and experimental. They may be a bit janky in a few spots, but it's enjoyable more. Oh yeah, pay your taxes, people. Especially the ones who are richer. If AI takes over, can we please drop the prices by 99%, please? Okay, let's be real. Okay, and let me read Jaden's point because that is pertinent. Coming from a personal level, I appreciate the many things that retro games did, but at the same time I understand many of the not as well thought out things they did. Especially when you talk about the NES era or the era transitioning from arcade games over to console. I understand not wanting to try out new throwback games and just being satisfied with the original games, with the older titles, because there are thousands of cool retro games. There are thousands of cool games from previous eras that are just waiting to be played. But when you just want the same games from the same series that grew up with to remain always the same, that I take issues with. Because you're basically describing stagnation, and stagnation leads to series decline. I want to reiterate, it's okay not being interested in the newer games that are being released on a day-to-day basis, and instead wanting to focus on the older games from yesteryears. That I'm totally okay with. It's only when they want the same games for the same franchise to stay the same, aka stagnate, I take issue with. The arm is clipping into itself. I understand why that happens, but it's kind of funny, the different interactions. Like, trying to prevent arms from clipping into bodies is actually more of a computationally expensive activity than many think. Yeah, unfortunately, the quote-unquote AI slop is going to cost $100 because we have to cover all the resource costs, the electricity, the water, the training data, the land, etc., etc. Oh, don't worry, Buster. I don't really like the influx of Gen AI. It was one thing with the previous. I don't mind so much stuff like ProcGen. I don't mind stuff like ProcGen AI or machine learning, but the whole large language model Gen AI stuff. Yeah, no. It's being applied the way it's being applied in the real world right now at large scale is not what it was built for, or even what it's good at. But yeah, let's actually talk about more interesting things. Meanwhile, in that movie Sun 4, that AI is closer to what we consider human-like, or general intelligence. This isn't even like that. Unfortunately, I kind of concur with Buster. I don't know if I would say they're AI, quote-unquote AI generated, but most of them blend into each other. Gen AI is cheap because of the externalities being covered by foolish VC firms and businesses thinking to be the next best thing. If we were to account for the true cost of using Gen AI large language models, it would be very pricey. That's why after several years, it's still not profitable. Can't wait for the bubble to pop. I don't want to have a discussion about cargo cults or AI cults right now, because that goes into territory I'm a bit uncomfortable with right now, and I'd rather go back and focus on gaming-related topics. I'll just end off at this point. Sometimes I feel the pace of technological development outpaces the pacing of people actually getting used to them. I'll just end off with that note. Number 3 up is Honey Pump Hive Garden by Genox74, 29 plays and a score of 19. Oh right, there was a point by Jaden I forgot to respond to. Windswept. I'm glad to hear that you're liking it more than K's and the Wild Masks. I'm probably gonna play that before I'm probably gonna end up playing that before I get to Windswept. Mainly as K's is a lot easier. Like, the special stages in Windswept are brutal. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Buster successfully destroyed the chat. Wanting more of what they like is one of the key reasons people get into creating stuff, throughout history. From the artists of old to the artists of today, that's been also a key defining factor. Wanting to see more of X or Y subject. Followed or tied by they want to experiment or see X or Y things. We all have to start somewhere, springboarding off of things. Not to mention what one person considers stagnation, another person may just consider to be iteration. It's a bit subjective. Like, no matter... I'm with Buster in this point. Like, I want to play more unique games, and to a certain extent I do try doing that. I'm a bit lucky to get all those free game keys from publishers and developers. Thank you very much. But I'm in Buster's boat with that. I'm pretty much going to be playing through almost every single one of the Mega Man fan games. Good and from good to bad, barring certain exceptions. Like, I'm still thinking of sampling that 4-player Mega Man Classic co-op game that isn't really good. And that got reskinned into a Steam game, which didn't perform well either, but details. Whoa. Perfect harmony. I mean, I'm happy of checking it, sampling it. Not so much because it's good, but more because, it's not. Yeah, I'd be happy to invite you, Buster, just to get involve you in the craziness. Hey, Stegosaurus, welcome to stream. I streamed Mega Man DOS earlier. The Mega Man DOS Remake. Oh no! Perfect Harmony, the fan game. I see. Jumps when I jump. Yep, Jaden. Remember when I played a demo of Windswept and I got stuck in the Sticker Brush Symphony secret level for about almost an hour? Touch. Buster's not allowed to touch bosses anymore. Buster, did you tell the team that you wanted to work on bosses? Hi Tyler, welcome to the stream. I'm actually gonna be covering your level very shortly. What was Special 1, by the way? I don't know if it's higher. Wait, hang on. It was Blockbuster Bunker, better version. I mean, 4-player co-op is available in a lot of games, even local. Just add more controllers. Sure, some mid-level, let me try Hydro Garden for a change, as it's an entirely new stage. Oh gosh. My only weakness... Acid Bear's only weakness... Hornets. Goodbye. We're eating roasted beef. We're having roasted hornets as a snack tonight. Gotcha. Thank you, Tyler. Let me reshuffle the levels a bit. One moment. Back I am. Thank you for listening to my feedback, Stegosaurus. I apologize if I sound a bit harsh in a few spots, but I really want the game to be better. I want it to be at the very least decent. Tell you what, Stegosaurus, if you're watching this, I'll do this. I'll edit my playthrough of DOS Remake to go over everything else, and then once I post it, I'll send you a list of things that I think can be improved. There is actually another Mega Man fan game demo available, Queen's Gambit. I'll save that for either sometime later or Sunday, because that is interesting in the sense that it's weirdly janky? I don't know. Anyways, forward up is Hydro Garden Part 1 Filling Station by TylerBot, 15 plays and a score of 2. As a reminder, tonight I'll be streaming my playthrough of Neon Inferno Part 1. And then tomorrow morning, I'll be playing Mega Man X The Badlands. Bubble. I'll be playing Mega Man X The Badlands, followed by Mega Man X Maverick City. I don't know if I'd say it's as janky as Eternal, but it seems to be using its own custom engine, which, well, you'll see. I mean, when I was testing, I managed to get stuck in the middle of a sliding corridor. Take that for what you will. You can also play in the browser, but that may affect how the engine performs. Yeah, it's not as janky as Eternal, I'd say. There was one soft lock, but let's heal. Okay, solid start for this level involving the... whatever this gimmick from Splash 1 stage is called. Oh no. Oh no. Oh hey, I'm not dead. Okay, that's not very risky to go for then. I can do it. Yes. Ouch. If this was a dead pin, I'd be a lot more cautious, but... Splash platforms. Whoa! I didn't expect it to be that slow. Oh gosh, I remember this. I will play Revolution Remix as that's... I will play Revolution Remix because that looks interesting and that's... more of Crane's project. Eternal, not really. Not so much because of how bad I think the game is, but more because of the... main developer. And I'll leave it at that. Please be a checkpoint. Thank you. I'll put it that way. Yeah. More in the case I can't accept criticism and, other things. Crane's a cool guy. Badlands crossover? I'll see that. Remember, I'm one of those people like you who'll play almost every single Mega Man fan game, bad or good. But I'm trying to balance out all the other key games I want to cover too, which... let's be real, a lot of them offer more interesting things. That's part of the reason why I decided to just finish Eventide Matter last week instead of just jumping directly to DOS Remake. And for a good reason, because there was a game-breaking bug with Sonic Man last week. Oh golly. Yeah. Eternal 2 also actually looks interesting to me. At the same time, well, if only the dev was better. Oh no. And no life pickups for me. Ah, thank you. I would say the checkpoint density in the stage is good. This is iterating and recombining mechanics, definitely. So I appreciate that. Oh, okay. Well, to be fair, if I fall down here, I have to restart from this screen anyway, so it's a time-saving thing. I mean, I say Eternal 2 looks better, but as for Fate and whether it's gonna be good or not, well, you know what my answer is. I'm not necessarily tired of classic fan games, but I really want to see other parts of the Mega Man franchise explored. Let me up, please. Like before, having to slide under these splash platforms was optional. Now it's mandatory. I remember Mega Man Sunrise. It was interesting, but also rather frustrating. Which I know it also describes about 100 other titles, but off the top of my head, my issues were basically need more polish and level design testing. Let me out, let me out. Oh my goodness. Seconds before tragedy. Let me out of here. Yes. Extra life and an M. Like the last time, this is my favorite level of the episode. It blows the others out of the it blows most of the others out of the water. Compared to the stage itself, that wasn't so hard of a fight. I Thought that was gonna blow up in a second. Of course, part of the reason why I'm not so tired of classic fan games is because I deliberately try spacing them out more, and intersperse them with other titles. If I played Mega Man back to back to back to back, I too would get very tired of them. This is why when I eventually do my Mega Man Marathon, probably next year, Mega Man Classic specifically, I'm gonna break up the games and do one part with 1 through 5 or 6, and then the other, I'm basically gonna chunk it up so I don't get too tired. Oh yeah, to Stegosaurus, now that you're back, here's what I'll do. I'll edit my playthrough of DOS Remake and post a video for that, and use that as a review, and then following its release, I'll post you a summarized list of thoughts of various improvements. Yeah, I played Sunrise heavily using weapons. Especially for the boss fights, so... Grance's weapon is cool. Is that Mega Man X the Alpha? At this point, just like the classic series, the fans will have to make their own X9. I'm sorry, Buster. I understand why there were limited assets because made within 3 months as part of a deliberate limitation. At this rate, J-Butters, probably. And heck, we even got Axel in. I'm really surprised. Okay, I'll play our next stage in after 2 more levels, please. How's that sound? 2 or 3 more levels. Not this one. Just making sure it exists. Alright. Fifth up is Mega Man and the Supernatural 4, Cannibal Man, Bone Jungle by Lapatio, 115 plays, and a score of 37. And also, as this is the start of a new Lapatio pack, the difficulty has been reset back down to a reasonable level. Yes, double jump! I can understand why they're going for a different direction, and I do appreciate that for Corrupted they are sort of acknowledging X8 in the sense of getting Axel in. Like originally he wasn't even supposed to be there, but then they added him in as an April Fool's update, and cool. Okay, X7 and X8. I'm pretty sure they have also implemented some things from X8 too for Axel. But I'm one of those people who's more easily pleased. Oh my gosh, water. Oh my gosh. Jay Butters is now has now set the inciting rods down. I'm activating my flame shields. Axel's A-Trans ability is best represented in Command Mission. You mean the in-development remake of X7, or the one you're making? Or will potentially make? Like, is that... Welp. Alright, sorry for ignoring you, Jaden. But I can see where you were coming from. Gotcha. I wasn't sure if you're referring to your potential one or the one that's currently in development. And I would like to eventually play Command Mission, though there are some quality of life features I wish they were added via hack. Like, I'm pretty much gonna be playing it on an emulator. That's dead? Let me finish this stage and I'll double check. And on another note, and I know this will make you happy, I'm also happy to see how well Constance is faring. Accepting criticism is very important. Also understanding that not all criticism is helpful is also equally important. Like, people screw up all the time. What's important is to learn. What's really important is to learn from your mistakes. And sometimes it takes a while for people to learn their lessons. Take for example my playthrough of the stage. If I was actually competent in Mega Man Classic, I wouldn't be taking this many hits. Wow, that's harsh, Buster. I'll explain what I want for quality of life later, because that... what it'll basically amount to being is, please implement the quality of life features in the Final Fantasy X remake or remaster. Oh, cool. Actually cool. Thank you, Spike Guard. I will say this to Jaden, I don't recommend playing any game for non-stop for 50 plus hours. That's almost a surefire way to burn yourself out. Like, okay, I can understand playing it for 8-12 hours, but almost 50 hours with breaks for food, sleep, etc. I don't think that's advisable in the slightest. Wow. You aren't like the Eternal Dev yet, Steg. Okay, I can take a short pause here. As a creator, it's important to understand and take criticisms gracefully. It's also very important to understand that not all criticisms are created equally. Not all criticisms are done in good faith, or from the best understanding point. And not all criticisms are equally valid or helpful. Like, even if someone's, well, for instance, sometimes people outside the target audience leave criticism that, while good meaning, doesn't necessarily mesh well with what the game is aiming to be. Did you marathon Pipstrello for that long though, Jaden? Like, how long did you play Pipstrello for? I'm not criticizing you, I'm just curious. Oh, Buster, I'm trying to find the best way of saying I can totally relate to that. Like, another thing I've learned over time is that it's important to take feedback from your target audience as well as people outside your target audience. Like, sure, I will weigh feedback from the target audience more heavily compared to people outside, but it's still important. And on the same token, it's important to get feedback from people at different skill levels and skill sets. Oh, I'm just having a short discussion, Stag. I'll continue. We made it. Ouch. Guaranteed 3 damage. Flash Claw? I procured the Cannibal Slash. If only I could vampirically take energy from these enemies with a slash. I think that explains a lot, Jaden. Because you beat the game within a day, you didn't spend you didn't reach the point where you burned out from playing it too much. With Skong, because you spent over 50 hours back-to-back days, you burned out. That's why you burned out. I agree, Jay Butters. I feel that the criticism, at the very least, should be relatively level-headed. I agree. Yeah, if you play a game, no-lifing or non-stopping it and dislike the experience, I'll question you by saying, why are you still playing the game? Play something else. Do something else. There are numerous enjoyable experiences out there that you shouldn't just force yourself to consume something you dislike and dislike or continuously dislike. There are more than enough experiences to be found in life. There are more than enough experiences to last many lifetimes. Don't waste your life with stuff you dislike. Especially when it's supposed to be for entertainment. It'd be one thing for trying to learn something, but now, there is a point to be made about people who played a game for several hundred hours or several thousand hours and left a negative review. There is a point to be made as long as you do it in a level-headed fashion. Like, you can, for example, you can make the argument that the game itself you don't recommend the game, but you yourself found it enjoyable. Or, in the case of a more live service model, you could say that originally the game was better, but because of recent or not so recent updates, it went down the toilet. Okay, let me check my Discord to see if I... Did I get any new level submissions? Oh, and thanks for joining the server, Steg. Let me add some roles for you. Do we have any level submissions? No, no new ones. Okay. I'm gonna play one from the most popular queue, then I'll get the Tyler boss level. Next up is Venus Remake by VKids, 78 play, score of 41. What do you think about the level? It was okay. Nice reset of difficulty compared to where we ended off with the last pack. But yeah. Whoa. When it said Venus Remake, I didn't think they actually limited the resolution to DOS. Excuse me, limited the resolution to Game Boy. I thought they were going to adapt it to Maker's NES-like resolution, but alright. That's certainly different. Now, if only I had the super arm. I misspoke there. I misspoke there, Stag. I meant to say Game Boy, not DOS. And yes, DOS's resolution is weird. I know that because I was a DOS gamer growing up. Ouch. I'm... How do you think I originally played Jazz, Jackrabbit, and Doom? I mean, if you want to make the argument, I'm so OG that when I first played Doom, I played it with only a keyboard. That was certainly an experience. I'm probably either gonna play emulating the DOS OG game, or I'm gonna use the repack, the modded version for Jazz. I think level design wise, 2 is better than 1, unless I play with the remaster, the fan remaster. Oh, certainly, I love the music. You know, this arena actually makes Toadman more difficult. But not by much. I don't know if this is a one-to-one port of the OG stage, but it does seem fairly similar. If you want to rant about the DOS resolutions, feel free to, because they're certainly a treat. I want to save, the garden part 2 for later, for next week, so that we have at least one good stage for next week. Guaranteed good level. That is nice. As for Venus, I don't know if that actually felt like a remake. It felt more like a port. Okay, I'll do this, then your stage. Seventh up is Cold Construction by Cognition 95. 110 plays and a score of 56. I'll be greatly looking forward to playing Skong in the next decade. Perhaps by then we'll have Skong 2 out. Man, I can't believe that the memes came true. And luckily it didn't turn into the next version of DKF. Hollow Knight Bilewater. I still don't know what that place is. I just heard multiple memes from the periphery. All I know about that is that place sucks or is painful and of the bench. I don't know I don't know what's up with the bench, but just there's a bench. Oh, GTA 6 will come out. I'm certain of it. It has X kajillion dollars invested into it. I thought you were gonna misspell as Gen Z code. Never. Anyways, I think I'm back. Give me a moment. I don't know. I don't think GTA 6 will have Gen AI code, but if you have a GTA 7, honestly, it'll probably have it. Honestly, I prefer having Gen C code anyways. Way better than way better than Gen AI. I'll repeat that. I don't know if GTA 6 will have Gen AI code, but 7, I hate to say it, it'll probably have it. Oh, don't worry, it actually exists, J-Butters. Now, of course, it also depends on what you consider the cutoff for when Gen Alpha actually begins. Really, at a certain point, the delineations between genres is kind of arbitrary. And to a certain point, I feel is done to deliberately divide people against each other. That's why whenever I refer to stuff like Gen Z or Gen Alpha or Gen Beta or Gen whatever, I do it in a more tongue-in-cheek fashion. Or just refer to as age groups instead. Yeah, the good timeline is that Gen AI will be fully retired. AI code, well, if we're talking about Gen AI code, yeah, I hope it's fully retired by then. Sooner than better. Bad timeline is at least 30%. I don't have any criticism of Hydrogun Part 1 because if I were to think about any criticisms, it would be kind of very subjective, and like the main criticism is I wish that the stage went harder with its mechanics, but there is a part 2 for that stage, so that probably alleviates that concern. Also, if you add too many elements in, it may make the stage too difficult for its target audience. Like, there are some stages which are good enough and established enough to a point where if you decide to make more personal changes, it would drastically impact the stage, not necessarily for the better. Which is to say, you did a good enough job to the point where I can't really point out anything major. Like, if more fan games had stages of your quality level, of the disc quality, Tyler, I would have a hard time trying to piece together what would be problematic or needs of repairs. That's why I appreciate with games with dashing, if there's an option where if you hold down the button, you'll keep dashing. The dash doesn't act like a button press, it's more of a movement modifier. It'd be one thing if you have to hold down the button, but having to repeatedly press it is, yeah. Especially if it's an action you have constantly want to do. Anyways, so... Wait a sec. Wait up. Hold up. Hi Salty, thanks for showing up. So let's see, so the 8th and final level of the stream is Robot Coliseum Part 1, Let the Games Begin, by TylerBot, 7th place, score of 2. It depends. I would still like a modifier button instead of the mashing, but that's just me. It's also for accessibility reasons, to be honest. Alright, let's fight. Oh, poor Pump Man. He got absolutely wrecked by this. No, I was supposed to block it. Thank you. Am I winning this? Nope. You're welcome, Stag. Oh no. Oh, okay. Okay. I was worried I have to do it one hit at a time. That wasn't the case, thankfully. Thank you for having a checkpoint between each section, too. When you have the X games which have air dashing and rail dashing, that's where it gets a bit troublesome, I agree. In that case, that's a tinker. And if you have stuff like all the other kinds of dash, like for games where you don't have to be dashing all around the place, I'm okay with it being just a button press. That's fine with me. It's just in games where you have to repeatedly do it, it becomes a bit of an issue. Proto Man takes double damage, and this boss already deals a bit of an excessive amount of damage. I'll get back to him later. Let me out. Oh, I'm dead. Or not. I can't tell how long he's going to be walking. The problem here is that Proto Man takes double damage, and the weapons don't really compensate as well for that. And some bosses deal a truckload of already deal quite a bit of damage with regular, and then we have stuff like this, which like they already deal quite a bit of damage with Mega Man, and Proto Man taking double damage. I'll reset. Like, even if I have to use the power adapter, that's still easier. I've ranted about this a lot in Maker, but I'll just say it this way. Unless Proto Man has access to the Proto Strike, him taking double damage from all sources is more of a detriment. Okay, I'll say this. Unless Proto Man has access to the Proto Strike, him taking double damage from all sources is a very big downside that really makes him more of a basically hard mode character to play as compared to pretty much the other three. Keep him, because what you're training off for taking double damage is being able to fire 2 shots, a shield that only works when you're jumping, and sliding. That's and a Mega Man 4 charge shot. Those things are nice, but they don't really make up for taking double damage from everything. Now, if Proto Man took 50% more damage from everything, I could make the argument. But simply put, one of his main features, the shield, is not really that good. Again, the one thing that does make up for Proto Man taking double damage is the Proto Strike. Infinite charge shots is awesome. Now, this criticism of Proto Man taking double damage from all sources also applies to pretty much all the other fan games where Proto Man takes double damage from all sources, not just Maker. Barring at least one exception, that being Mega Man Beyond. Where I'd argue that Proto Man is kind of overpowered there, because of all the other things he gets. Well, one of the key differences for Proto Man over there and beyond is that his shield is actually better. Namely, as it's always up as long as you're not firing. In Maker, the shield is only up when you're jumping. If you're standing still, not active. It also helps the Proto Man gains access to different techniques that power him up. In regards to the whole auto-dashing, holding down the button to dash, my answer ends up being it depends on the game in question and its level design. Like, if your game has a lot of platforming that forces you to use your dash more conditionally, I'm okay with it requiring a button press. But if there's noticeable stretches where you want to constantly dash, that's where I'd prefer having a hold. Okay, question from Buster. Big question. If Proto could crouch to bring up his shield, would that make his shield too strong? Assuming he can hold the shield forever. I'm gonna have to preface my statement with two questions. I know it's a bit of a cop-out. 1. Does the shield won't protect against piercing attacks? And 2, will the shield protect against explosive attacks? Like, I'm assuming the shield only protects against regular projectiles. Well, assuming you control the shield forever, that is gonna be dependent on the level design, I'd say. I know it's a bit of a cop-out answer too, because assuming the level design doesn't really have that many dynamic features that are required to move around, being able to stand still and block projectiles, yeah, that could seem overpowered. That is, unless there's also melee enemies to force Proto Man to move. Like, the main counter to Proto Man's shield, assuming they could crouch to bring it up anytime, would be piercing attacks, explosive attacks, and melee. And of course, anything that forced Proto Man to move. Only regulars, got it. Like, it'd be up to the level design itself. If you don't have any of those features I aforementioned, yes, it'll be kind of broken. But if you have at least one or more of those elements, I don't feel so much. And keep in mind, when we say about the shield protecting him, he'll still take double damage. The reason why I have indeterminate answers is because, unfortunately, it's complicated. Like, I can think of games that have infinite blocks but can be broken for various things, and it's balanced that way. Yeah, obviously it can't shield literally everything if the shield has infinite durability, basically. Oh, that's solid. Ah, I got caught. Okay, back here. There is no perfect pasta sauce. Only perfect pasta sauce is. Or you can give the shield a short cooldown window. Really, if I were to have... The way I would balance it, it would be to give the shield a durability. Like, have it which several games have actually done, I've seen. Have it be able to block a limited amount of damage, but after that, Proto Man's guard will be broken. Have it be like a reasonable amount, like, I don't know... 8? 8 damage, maybe? I'm just picking up dummy numbers. Heck, if we actually have an HP value or durability value for the shield, we can actually theoretically make it protect against the explosive attacks, but just have the explosive attack just immediately break the shield or whatever. But that way you protect against HP damage temporarily. Or don't focus on the shield at all and just give Proto Man a double charge shot. That works too for me. Man, this fight is a lot harder without sliding. Ah, get me out of here. Basically, poise, when we say poise, we basically mean like an HP meter. Or basically a stamina guard. It's basically a guard meter. Yeah, pretty much like Mega Man. Poise at its core level, to simplify it, poise at its core tenets is basically a guard meter. Break through it to stun enemies. Or if yours gets broken, you get stunned. Didn't press hard enough. I mean, the way the shield, the way the guard meter works in Mega Man is basically the way I want it to work for Proto Man. Like, poise does regenerate over time, that's kind of the point, but you have to manage it carefully so you don't overblock. Okay, Ringman's down. Alright, who's left? I forgot. Up the ladder. Got it. Right, you said 7 teleporters only for this room and the rest are up there. Oh. Let's rumble. Oh, split. Grenade man jump scare. I think I remember that, Buster. No, I didn't. Sorry, that was in development. For a game like Mega Man, getting stunned like that is, nah, that is really punishing. For Souls-like or just games like that, it works better for that, but for a platformer-heavy game like Mega Man, stun locks like that stun locks that last that long are not advisable. Smash shield mechanics also be very cool. I mean, we already have the shine in Maker. Oh no. Dead. This is turning out to be harder than expected. Seven more arms total. You know, a more character action focused Mega Man game would be pretty cool. But they probably have to commission Capcom for that. Or Koei Tecmo. Like, I would love to play a Mega Man Warriors game. This is a great demonstration of how mediocre I am at playing Mega Man Classic. As much as I like the series, I don't live and breathe Mega Man, I'm afraid. Alright, 3 more. Then we can get out of here. But if you're watching this in post, what I want to emphasize is try experimenting with Proto Man's shield mechanics instead of just giving him double damage across the board with barely anything else to compensate. Or heck, don't even modify the shield, just give him more offensive abilities. Just try something different. Getting hugged by him is less scary than getting chainsawed. I'm doing mediocre, Tyler. If I was awesome, I would have been done with this and its sequel. That's something I really want to make clear whenever I play a Mega Man game or fan game or Mega Man-like title. As much as I played this franchise for years now, I would say I'm just merely mediocre, or to put it more charitably, if you were to do so, adequate. Mega Man Next Remakes is interesting, but I'll get into that when we get into it. That it experiments with a lot of things to the point where I start questioning whether it's a Mega Man Classic fan game or a fan game starring Mega Man Classic. You may think, wait, isn't that the same thing? No, it's a bit different. Like, if the next remix comes out fully, it's gonna take at least 2 or 3 streams to beat. Oh yeah, and there's also an X next. Which, now that the dev fixed, well, not now, it was years ago, they actually fixed the speed issue. I can reasonably play it. Heck, I can even play as Dark Pac-Man. Not actually the name of that OC, but... Oh yes. There's a stage exit and the entrance into Part 2. That's kind of what I was alluding to, J. Butters. The more and more it develops, and from what I've seen its course, it really feels like a game where Mega Man is co-starring. It doesn't feel so much of a Mega Man Classic fan game, more a game where Mega Man takes a starring role and explores the environment, which its main mechanics, its overall flow of mechanics doesn't really feel that Mega Man-y. It deviates from the OG model in many different ways. Thank you for saying it, Tyler. Mega Man-based Queen's Gambit. I will say, Buster, be careful when there's going to be a point where you can slide for an E-Tank. Be very careful in that room. Okay, there is a secret room with an E-Tank. Be very careful there when sliding into the chutes because you can get soft-locked. Thank you for saying this, Tyler. I liked your previous stage more, but this is still a decent outing. Tougher than I expected, though. Gonna say. So overall, of the 8 levels I covered in today's morning stream, my favorite one would certainly be Idle Garden Part 1 Filling Station by Talabot. If that wasn't there, it would be probably the Space Fortress or Electric Park. And thank you to everyone else who submitted levels to me. It is really appreciated. So before we leave, time for the art showcase, or rather, the one art piece shared by Pixel Boy. Two Eyes and Teat. For the upcoming 1-year anniversary. We'll have to wait until December 3rd for full piece to be complete. In any case, this concludes the art showcase and subsequently the stream. Thank you very much to everyone who either submitted a level, shared their art, or simply participated in chat, especially in regards to discussions. It's thanks to your continued support why I continue to stream and produce videos for the channels. It is really appreciated. So, if you're enjoying this or any other content on the channel, please rate, comment, favorite, and or subscribe, as they all help them out. And don't forget to follow me on Blue Sky and Mastodon as well, and join my Discord server, as I regularly post updates there. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in about 5.5 hours for Neon Inferno. Thanks for watching, and